What is going on, Skol family? I'm Kyle.
I'm Darin.
I'm Cole.
And this is the Purple Dopes with Hopes podcast. Welcome in, Purple Dope family. You are listening to the Purple Dopes with Hopes podcast. We are part of the Let's Skol Network. And every single week, my good friend Darin and I sit down and talk about our favorite NFL football team, the Minnesota Vikings. So if you're finding us on YouTube, we encourage you, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Darin, we're over 215 now.
Oh, we're just climbing, man.
We're just climbing, dude. We are just climbing. We are literally on an escalator right now when it comes to subscribers. Just keep moving up. And then, of course, if you're finding us on any of the podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or iHeartRadio, please make sure that you follow along to the Purple Dopes with Hopes podcast and then give us a rating and review. It's super fun to continue to see those reviews come in and hear what people are thinking about the Purple Dopes. But we are back this week with another episode of Straight Skol, where we are bringing in various Vikings content creators, personalities, team personnel to just talk about this team that drives us wild every single NFL season, the Minnesota Vikings. And this week we bring in a guy. He's TikTok, he's YouTube, he's Twitter. My good friend, Skol Cole. I will make sure to drop all of your platforms in the description of this video. How are you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Great. Happy to have you on the pod, man.
Yeah, happy to be on here.
So you mainly navigate TikTok, correct?
TikTok for video stuff, and then I do writing stuff for Vikings Wire, zonecoverage.com.
Nice.
Those are the two main ones right now. So
okay, so give us your TikTok handle real quick.
TikTok handle is just Skol Cole Show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, as I said, you got YouTube and you got Twitter as well. So I'll make sure to throw those in the video, man. But really, what we do with Straight Skol is we just bring in people and we just talk about this team that drives us crazy. So tell us first, man, how did you become a fan of the Minnesota Vikings?
So we moved up to Minnesota, to Rochester in 1998, and I was in kindergarten. So easy time to be. I know, easy time to get into it. My dad was already a fan. He grew up in Austin, so moved up there, became a fan pretty early on. Had Randall Cunningham, Randy Moss, Chris Carter. Really, really easy to fall in love with the team. And then even after we moved back to Des Moines in 2000, just kept becoming more obsessed and everything. And which is weird because they started to suck when we moved back.
I was going to say, man, you picked an interesting time to get obsessed.
Right. Yeah. The 2000 year was all right for a while, but then 41 Donut. And then after that, it was really bad for a while. But, so that's how I became a fan.
Yeah. And right. You said your dad was a fan in Texas. How does that happen? How did you become
Austin, Minnesota?
Minnesota. Yeah. Oh. Sorry. Yeah.
Makes total sense why your dad was a fan.
Right. Yeah. No, his whole family lived up there. So
Kyle, have you ever heard of Spam? Because that's where that's the home of Spam is Austin, Minnesota.
Like the fake meat Spam?
Exactly.
Museum and everything.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Well, bucket list for me to visit Austin, Minnesota to get all your Spam needs. Spam, if you're listening, contact the Purple Dopes. We will shout you out all week.
Yeah, I should have maybe I forgot you said Washington State, so I should have specified. But
that's all good,
Austin,
man.
Minnesota.
Okay. And so your dad, was he a fan from like a kid? Was it the 70s that kind of brought him along into his fandom?
He kind of followed it. So it's weird. He kind of followed the team. He actually became more of a fan after he started seeing my mom. Her family was actually Cowboys fans, but they were so into football. He started leaning into like the Vikings thing.
Nice. Gotcha.
So yeah, he was always there, but he started really following, hardcore late 80s and then into the 90s. So
right on, man. I mean, Darin and I can both attest to, having dads that love the Minnesota Vikings, because that's, really the reason that we're Minnesota Vikings fans and doing a Minnesota Vikings podcast is because our dads, brought us up in this ridiculous fandom that get their hopes up and then crushes them season after season.
They've just been Patriots fans, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Well, I want to move on to our next question. When you think about your Vikings, I guess, fandom history, and you can even go into kind of your professional life as well. What's the best Vikings story that you got?
So the best one involves my dad. My dad passed away in November 2021, but a month later, because I tweeted about it, and that tweet went viral. And
Yeah.
Tommy Kramer got a hold of it, and I ended up going to the Vikings-Rams game in 2021
Nice.
with Tommy Kramer, met
No
up with the
way.
people there. And then so we watched the game, went to a bar and grill nearby. We played pull tabs till like 12:30 at night. Then we went back
With
to
Tommy Kramer?
What's that?
With Tommy Kramer?
Yeah. We did really, like, we kept winning too. We were doing really well. And we went back to his place and we shot dice till 6:30 in the morning. And he would have kept going, but I was like, dude, I've been up for 24 hours. I need to go to bed. So yeah, so that was probably the best memory. It sucked how it came to be, but it was a cool memory.
Definitely.
So yeah.
And what a cool story. I mean, your dad being a Vikings fan, man. Sorry that your dad passed, but the way you got to kind of honor your dad was hanging out with a Vikings legend, Tommy Kramer, who your dad probably, knew and watched at some point. Oh, how cool is that? My question for you is, like, at what point were you like, Tommy, dude, I got to go home, man. Like, it just seems like Tommy doesn't stop.
Yeah, it was about 6:30 in the morning. I was like, dude, I got to go to bed, man. So I slept in his basement. That was the idea, was I was gonna chill there, and then I slept a few hours, and then I headed back to Des Moines after that. So
that's amazing. Like, was that on your bingo card? Like all-nighter with Tommy Kramer playing dice in his basement?
No,
and then take a nap in his house?
Yeah, I was like, man, Dad would have, like, he went to believe this a month and a half ago.
That's amazing.
So, but yeah, no, it was a fun time. It was a cool experience for a rough time in my life. So
yeah, man.
Yeah,
I mean, what a great way to kind of celebrate the loss of your dad. I mean, sorry about the loss, man.
Yeah,
that's brutal, but how cool of Tommy Kramer to kind of swoop in and give you that experience. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Tommy Kramer sounds like a pretty awesome dude to me.
Yeah, no, he's super down to earth and everything. And McDaniel, he heard this kid's dad died, so go hang out with this kid. And so he was like looking for like some 9-year-old. Apparently, he didn't know why the hell he was standing next to me. He's like, this guy's older than I am. He was a fun guy too, though. So
that's awesome. So sounds like if you're gonna meet your hero, meet Tommy Kramer.
Absolutely. He'll outdrink you. At least back then. So.
And you got to go to the game to him as well with him as well.
Yeah. It was a rough game. It was a rough game, like most games, but it was super fun to be able to hang out with him and stuff.
That was the Super Bowl, the Rams Super Bowl team, right?
Yeah. Kevin O'Connell was on the sideline. Didn't know our head coach was in the stadium with us. So
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Brandon Powell had a punt return for a touchdown too. I wish he could have done that.
That's right. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, rough game to watch though. Really.
Yeah. Well, speaking of rough games, this last question before we jump into kind of current Viking stuff. When you think about like being emotionally invested into a game, what's the first game you remember, like in your childhood or your teenage years or your college years, where like the game impacted you deeply emotionally? Couldn't be in a good way, but I'm guessing as a Vikings fan, it's probably in a negative way.
So like I followed the team really heavily through the first few years, but the first time like I cried, like being upset, was the 2003 season finale against the Cardinals. Josh McCown and Nathan.
Yep. The Paul Allen call.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And man, that one just gutted me. I went upstairs at my grandpa's house. I started crying, and it was rough. I was like trying to like tell my Packers friend. I was like, we should have been in the playoffs. I was like, he wants to get on that second foot down. That was a bad call. And of course, they changed the rule a few years later.
It always happens to the Vikings.
Yeah,
really, all of the Minnesota teams. Like they change the rules after it's already screwed us.
Of course.
Right, exactly. So that was probably the first real pain I had felt. So yeah, I'd say that was the one where it was like, okay, like I'm in it now.
Yep.
So
when it brings out like physical, emotional response, like you're in, man. Like there's no getting away from it at this point in your life. So
right,
they're brutal too, because the only thing that cures it is more football. But you gotta wait a year. So just it's a heavy burden to carry for that long.
And that was like 22 seasons ago, and there's been absolutely no payoff since then.
Right.
It's like, what am I doing here?
That's just it. Like I think they're like compounding each other. So that by the time we win, again, we've talked about this before, it's gotta happen at some point. What will that feel like? Like
Yeah,
really.
exactly. Or just to even get to the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah,
You know, I mean, we can't even get to the Super Bowl at this point.
Those 2 weeks between the championship games and the Super Bowl would be just epic.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
I'm like, give me 2 weeks of hope, and then I'll take my chances after that. I was like, let me at least see us in the Super Bowl.
That's it. That's it. Well, we are the Purple Dubs with hopes.
Right.
Cole.
Exactly.
So, like, we carry hopes no matter what. So that's kind of our mantra there. So so let's kind of bring things up with some hopes as we like move away from the heart hurt that these Vikings provide for us and like look forward to the future of our team. Which let's start off shouting out two guys, CJ Ham and Adam Thielen, both retired this week as Minnesota Vikings. Kind of what are some of your favorite thoughts or memories when it comes to Ham and Adam Thielen?
Yeah, I mean, I loved watching Thielen's rise. For those who remember the 2014 preseason, where he was just like he just stood out among everybody else. When he had that blocked punt against the Panthers and scored, I was like, hey, I was like, he'll never forget that, and he won't. But like, I didn't think that he was going to become like a Pro Bowl receiver.
That's just it. Yeah, you thought maybe really good special teamer for the next 5 to 10 years. But
yeah, I was at that season finale against the Bears that year. He caught his first receiving touchdown. I was like, okay, he might have one or two more of those, and ends up just being like really good after that. So I'll always appreciate Thielen for that. And then CJ Ham, I mean, just really good all-around fullback and stuff. So
yeah, he was just rock solid. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm glad we could get him into the end zone against the Packers.
That was great. Actually, this morning they had the Vikings Saints 2019 replay on. I turned it on just as Thielen's catching that over the shoulder.
Oh, that ball from Cousins.
Oh man, beautiful pass, throw of his lifetime.
Great catch. Yeah.
What I always remember from that game is that catch where he goes up and over the guy to move the change on third down. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, he did that. He did that in the Minneapolis Miracle.
That was the Miracle game, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. My bad. Yeah. But just like keeps the play alive. I mean, just over the top of the guy. You're like, how the heck does this guy make this catch and
just climb the ladder? It was crazy.
Yeah. And at that point, I was like, okay, we can get into game-winning field goal range. I didn't know we were going to kick a field goal, let them get a field goal, and then get the miracle after that.
I still remember it was the year of the miracle when we played the Rams. Adam Thielen had like just a little like hitch route that ran away from. I couldn't believe how fast he was. Like I did not give him credit for being fast until that game, and I was like, "Holy smokes, this guy can fly!"
And that put that game away. And that was kind of the game where it was like, "Okay, this is a contender." Like,
that was kind of like 2 or something like that at that point. So yeah,
absolutely.
You got any CJ Ham memories there, Darin?
I mean, the one that sticks out is just the last touchdown for me. He's just a model of consistency, right? Like you knew what you're getting with them. He played all the time. Like, I don't know, but we don't really, it's not like he was Mike Allstott, right? There wasn't a lot of highlights on the CJM highlight reel, but but just the consistency that he brought.
A guy that you could count on time and time again out there. Yeah.
There was like the comeback against the Colts. Remember the overtime coin toss? He was laughing in that guy's face. So he's like, "We're gonna win."
That's right.
Well, that might be his best highlight, actually. I just remembered that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, special shout out to two Vikings, we'll always hold near and dear in our heart, Adam Thielen and CJ Ham. So let's get into some Vikings current talk here. Last week, the Vikings re-signed Carson Wentz as quarterback number 3, ? And that's what I want to hear from you, Cole, is like, what are you thinking on this re-signing of Carson Wentz? Like, what thoughts go through your mind?
So I think the real quarterback competition is for QB2. I think Kyler's pretty much blocked it. Like, I guess there is some sort of a world where McCarthy could be QB1, but I just don't see it. I think it's going to be for QB2. They came out with the contract details for Wentz yesterday. 1 year, $3 million, and like 2.6 is guaranteed. Sure sounds like QB2 money to me. And if he was going to be QB3, like why would he sign in March?
Yeah, for sure.
So that was my first instinct with it.
Yeah, the one caveat to that is I think he still lives around here. So, I mean, he's getting older. Kids are getting older. He might just want to be here. But I with the money, though, I hear what you're saying. Like, seems weird that he'd get $3 million and wouldn't be QB2.
Right.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I would agree. Now, I did hear a theory the other day that Wentz is QB2 and the competition is between JJ and Kyler. And if Kyler doesn't perform, we trade Kyler and JJ gets the starting job. Your thoughts on that one?
I don't know. I mean, and I say all this as somebody who is staunchly defending JJ through the 2025 season. There were
Purple
some
dubs
fans
as well. Purple dubs as well.
There were some fans who seemed to just be like really wanting him to suck, and I never understood that. But yeah, right. That's kind of how I felt. But at this point, yeah, I think it's gonna be Kyler, and I hope it all works out for JJ. But I don't know. It doesn't look good for him right now.
What's hard with JJ is like, for me in this moment, it's hard to know what's real because there's a lot of things circulating around like KOC and him not really liking each other, being on the same page. Like, I just don't know what's real and what's not. Because obviously, if KOC doesn't like him or doesn't believe in him, or if, JJ was foisted on him by Kwesi, like obviously that's not how KOC wants to go about picking his quarterback. But then I've also heard that no, he wanted JJ. Like, so I just don't really. I don't know. I feel like we haven't gotten a clear message on like what's the relationship there with KOC and JJ.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Cole?
I agree. I mean, it's kind of the same way. For the longest time, for a year and a half, I was like, man, these guys are like personality-wise. I was like, it seems like it's a match made in heaven. And then now it sounds like, well, maybe not,
Right.
And I don't know if JJ just kind of lost his, I don't know, losing his mind's the right way to say it, but just the pressure of actually being an NFL quarterback just kind of brought something out that the team wasn't expecting. I mean, the guy's lost one game since high school. So,
Right.
it's almost like learning how to lose.
Yeah. And, that's a good, yeah.
Yeah. And I maybe didn't handle it as well as they thought, because I didn't think that my biggest issue was not only that he was always hurt this year, but that he was just so amped up all the time. I was like, if he could just chill out, I feel like we could get like some decent quarterback play. But he was just always amped up because it was like every other week. It was like his redemption game because it was his first game.
Yeah, he's hurt, then he's back. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
well, it definitely impacted the way. I mean, you look at those passes that he was throwing. I mean, it was apparent that he was overhyped on balls that he was throwing, as guys were saying they were coming in as missiles, And I think one of the bigger concerns was like just his connection with Justin Jefferson. Like, how does that not get dialed in when you have a wide receiver with the caliber of Justin Jefferson?
Right, and that is another reason that I think Carson Wentz has the inside track to QB2. Because I did the math on this. With Carson Wentz at quarterback, Jefferson averaged 96.6 yards a game.
Saw this
47 yards with McCarthy and Brosmer at quarterback. So, I mean, there's growing pains, but the offense at some point has to operate like an offense. And if Jefferson's not producing, the offense isn't a KOC offense.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I mean, if Jefferson's not producing, then we got a problem who's getting them the ball, because that guy – right. I mean, I think career-wise, at one point he was over 100 yards average per game. I think that's probably dropped
significantly.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the kind of guy where if he's not getting his yards, like the ball, I mean, we've seen it. The ball doesn't have to be accurate for him to make plays. Like, he makes plays regardless, as long as the ball is somewhat in his sphere of catching.
Although this year, I don't know, they're like, JJ struggled, but so did Jefferson. Like, he dropped ball. Like we talked about this, all season. Like, the drops for him and Addison. Like, it was
Hawkinson.
Yeah. So it was something to like the not seeing consistent play at the quarterback, and then obviously it affected the wideouts. Did they think the ball is actually going to get there or not?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you say Kyler's the guy, man. What gets you excited about bringing in a guy like Kyler Murray to the Vikings offense for next season?
Well, I mean, he's done it before. Maybe not in like this particular offense. I mean, he's had like so many people are hung up on his deep passing the past few years, which it hasn't been good the past few years. But early on in his career, it was good. And KOC has shown that with veteran quarterbacks, he's able to kind of get the best out of them.
Yep.
So it may be just a change of scenery, honestly.
Yeah.
Could be good. I mean, we see the NFLPA report cards all the time, and Arizona's not doing too well on those. And
Vikings are always at the top.
We're always at the top, so maybe he'll do a little bit better. Getting 3 meals a day or whatever paid for and all that stuff. So I think it's. I don't see much downside to it, especially with what we're paying him. With Arizona forking over most of it.
Yeah. Well, I said last week, the Cardinals are not a good organization. When you look at their history of developing a quarterback, name one. I mean, Jake Plummer. It's like they got Kurt Warner, who was already a former MVP Super Bowl winner. Carson Palmer had a year or two of success there, but they do not have a track record of having a good quarterback or developing a good quarterback. And so I think for me, that's where I get excited, thinking you see the potential that Kyler's got. Bring him into the QB whisper and let's see what we can get out of him.
Well, Darin, I got to shout you out for saying Jake Plummer right now. That is quite the pull right there as far as a Cardinals quarterback, which I believe he was drafted by Arizona, but I think most of his success came in Denver, did it not?
Pretty much.
Probably.
His highest of highs were in
Denver. For sure. But shout out Jake Plummer, man. We'd love to have a conversation with you at some point.
Absolutely.
Talk about the Cardinals organization. Well, Cole, I want to hear from you, man. We got Naylor kind of, made his way, got paid by the Raiders. It's kind of apparent that they're setting Addison up for this deal next season. Do you see any like viable options there at the wide receiver 3 spot that we could bring in, or are we going to try to lift somebody up that's already there?
So you probably saw that DeAndre Hopkins was talking about possibly reuniting with Kyler. I don't know if I'd hate that too much. For the right price.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Antonio Williams, Clemson receiver, he was chatting it up with Keenan McCardell at the Clemson Pro Day a few weeks ago, and he'd be like a mid-round pick, possibly third-ish round. We got a couple third-round picks. Otherwise, hope that Ty Felton can step up and, maybe he could. I mean, KJ Osborne ended up being a pretty decent, solid wide receiver 3 for us, but he didn't do anything as a rookie either. So,
and even Naylor took a few years to kind of get to where he was at last year. So,
Yeah. I was in the same thought process of you of Ty Felton. I was a little disappointed in those last 5 games of the season that we didn't see him getting some offensive first team reps out there, as the season was, already in the bag. So I didn't know if there was, something going on there where they weren't ready to put him out there, but I think he would be the logical option. But hearing that DeAndre Hopkins has a thought process of being back with Kyler, to me, it's like, dude, those are sure hands as anyone. But I wouldn't be mad if DeAndre Hopkins decided for a 1-year run with the Vikings or something.
Oh, that'd be sick. Put him with Addison and Jefferson. I mean, look out.
Another red zone threat.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, we did have a couple signs this week, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this new punter that we're bringing in. Is it Johnny Hecker?
Johnny Hecker,
man. I mean, all pro, and dude does not shy away from, getting in people's faces, which I kind of like about him. But what are your thoughts about the signing at the punter position?
I like it. I mean, I don't think he is what he used to be, but he can throw the ball some. So it means we can run some fakes.
That's right.
Sure. He was also teammates with Matt Daniels in St. Louis. So I mean, I don't know how much that means for 2026 outside. You might get a cool nickname, but I mean, I like it. I was surprised to see Ryan Wright leave. So I thought we had good chemistry between him, DePaula, and Reichert. So
that's my biggest concern is look, just make sure you can get the ball down for Reichert.
For sure.
I was never a huge fan of Ryan Wright as a punter. I know he had a pretty good season last year, but before that, I thought he was average. But got the ball down and, got to let Will the Thrill just knock those 50-yarders through. So get the ball down.
I think that's been our conversation the whole time. We just need somebody who can hold that ball right. So, and it seemed like him and Ryan Wright had a pretty good connection, but knowing Will the Thrill and as much of a gamer as he is, I'm sure either one of us three could probably go out there and Will would probably boot in some 63 yarders.
Yeah, there you go.
Put too much faith in me.
No, I just have a lot of faith in Will.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Oh, and then they picked up an offensive lineman, Ryan Van Denmark. I think he was with Buffalo last season, was he not?
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on that? I don't know a lot about this guy, but seems like everything that I've been hearing, he was a decent guy.
Yeah, I looked at some of his PFF stuff, and I mean, that's about the extent of it. But he played some left tackle, some right tackle, had like a 73.9 PFF grade. So, then he's like big, 6'7", a little lightish, 307.
6'7".
Yeah, exactly.
Middle school teacher. I'm sorry.
Can't get away from it. But maybe he'll be an improvement over Justin Skol. Hopefully won't need him as much this year because hopefully Darisaw is able to stay healthier.
For sure.
But that swing tackle spot's big. Like you need a guy that can do that. And yeah, Justin Skol just wasn't the guy. So happy to have a different option this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of options, man, we got number 18 pick coming up in the NFL draft. What are your best options for the Minnesota Vikings as they take on that 18th pick? Are you thinking, let's move up and get a little a running back who's got a lot of love in his heart? I don't know. Just a thought.
So the dream scenario is that Jeremiah Love falls to 18. I don't think that's very realistic, but that's what. Otherwise, I don't really want to trade up for him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Avion Terrell, cornerback out of Clemson, Dylan Tiedemann, safety out of Oregon, Manuel McNeil-Warren, safety out of Toledo. Those would kind of probably be my three. Otherwise, defensive line, Caleb Banks out of Florida, or Peter Woods out of Clemson. That's kind of like my five. If we can wipe up with any of those guys, I'll be very happy.
Of the defensive guys, like who's your top choice?
Avion Terrell.
Interesting.
Yeah. So,
and what's your thought process behind him being the top guy?
Well, I watched like 3 of his games, and he's just like, sometimes you just kind of have to really look for something. It's like, okay, they're saying first rounder, but is he? And everything just looks pretty natural to him. Now, I thought the same thing about Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, but I think Terrell, he just seems like so natural. I don't really have too many questions about him transitioning into the NFL. Even though McNeil-Warren looks like a safety, just his build, he looks like a safety.
And he's the kind of safety to like knock your head off, right?
Yeah, like when he went downhill, like plant his foot and go downhill, like he was popping guys, and they were like trying to open up spots in the middle of the field to get away from him. He'd still like force fumbles. So yeah, any of those 5, I would be very happy with.
So. No. Where are you at, Darin?
I mean, I like Dylan Tiedemann from Oregon. I mean, that's the guy I'm hoping that we're going to take. I think all the mocks, or not all, but a lot of the mocks have him going there. So he did have a good combine workout, so I could bump him up out of our reach. But there's, to Cole's point, there's plenty of guys that I think we could grab and be happy with. So
yeah. Well, I think we've been saying it all along, on the Purple Dopes is like best available player.
Available.
Like, whatever the best available player is, like that's who we want to bring in. And if that's a cornerback or a safety, great. If that's Jeremiah Love, like let's go. But whoever the best available player is, I think we need to make sure that's the guy that we're targeting, because we can't play these games with trying to fit the spots with the guy. Like we've seen that.
We need dudes on the team. So just draft a bunch of dudes.
Yeah. Well, like we've been, like you've been saying, Darin, like we got to have some starters.
Yeah.
Like we got to have starters coming out of this draft this year, because we got enough spots on the team that we need some guys to come in who can play right away.
Yeah. Big time.
I think we get a starter at center on day 2 in the round 3. Absolutely.
Yeah. You got any guys specifically in mind, or you think there are enough of them out there? Jake
Slaughter from Florida, Connor Liu out of Auburn, Logan Jones out of Iowa, Sam Hecht out of K-State. I think all 4 of those, at least 3 of them should be available by 82. We pick at 97 also. So
yeah, I'm curious, like what kind of guy, like are they like bigger dudes? Because the one thing I don't want to repeat is the Bradbury experiment, where I think he was tough. He just was little and just got tossed around. So I'd rather not repeat that.
Yeah, I think Jones is more of a. I probably shouldn't speak too hard on this, as if I know it enough. I'm like listing all these guys, and you said that I'm like, so I act like a Mel Kiper, but I think Logan Jones might be more of that type.
Okay,
but outside of that, I'll keep my mouth shut on the rest. But there could be a starting center in the round 3.
I love it.
I like to hear that, man. We want starters from rounds 1, 2, and 3 if we can get them. So that would be the ultimate goal of the draft, any draft anyway. So
Cool.
yeah, what I mean,
actually, let's circle back real quick to it's not free agency, but have you heard anything on the Grenard front lately, or is there anything happening there? Or are we just gonna keep him? And which I'm fine keeping him, but just kind of curious if that's still happening.
I don't think I've heard much since that Patriots report.
Okay.
Have you, Kyle?
He put out a post on his Instagram with a bunch of Vikings images. So
well, I guess he did put that. Yeah,
I saw a bunch of Vikings guys on Twitter or X saying that they think that that's a hint that something's coming. But I have that's all I've heard. Is basically that little collage of images and then a bunch of dudes chiming in with they think that means he's coming back. So
nice,
or deal's coming. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Or trade's coming. Who knows? Who knows at this point? What are we doing?
I love it.
Speculation season.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we always like to bring in the Purple Dub Hopes when it comes to the Purple Dubs with Hopes podcast. Our Purple Dub Hopes are brought to you by 612Tees, a great apparel company out of Minnesota, Vikings, Timberwolves. I think they got some link stuff on their site now. Use Purple Dubs 25 and you get 25% off your first order. Cole, we are going to give the Purple Dub Hope to you this week. What hopes do you have for our Minnesota Vikings as we move forward in the offseason into 2026?
I hope that we get a wide receiver 3, a center. Just reason to be excited to see the offense on the field again. I was at the Christmas Day game, and literally it's the first game I've ever attended where it was more exciting to watch the defense on the field. And that's not even a joke. I mean, it was hard to watch last year. So I just want optimism. Make the offense fun again. So.
Absolutely. Well, I think you and I were talking at the beginning of this before we started. Like, we just want to have fun football for our Minnesota Vikings. Like,
absolutely, we
don't want to come out after every game going, "Oh, how did we pull that one off?" We want to come out being like, "Man, that was the greatest game." We want week 1 of last season to be every game next season, regardless of wins or losses. Just give us some excitement during the games.
Absolutely.
Or take me back to Dallas, the primetime game against Dallas. That was an exciting football game.
That one was good.
If we get a dozen of those, I'm going to be pretty excited. And the rest of them, their wins, blowout wins. Okay, sounds like a fun time to do a podcast anyway.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's tough to be a content creator when your team is like putting up goose eggs.
It can be tough, but man, it also gets a lot of opinions out there too.
You're absolutely right on that one.
Yeah. Now that I'm more negative on JJ McCarthy, I'm like, man, this is kind of easy to get come up some conversation and stuff. But that's not why I'm negative on him. But
bait him, man. You got to bait him somehow. So we
exactly.
Well, Cole, we thank you so much for joining in with us this week, man. Please shout out all of your socials so that people know where to find you. And like I said, I will link all those in the description of the video and the podcast.
Yeah, at Skol Cole Show on TikTok. That's kind of the big one right now. At Skol Smith on X and Twitter, and then at the Skol Cole Show on YouTube. That's mostly just my TikTok stuff anyway. So TikTok, we do go TikTok live. We do Vikings trivia where people try stumping me, and it comes a pretty fun time. So,
that's cool.
Oh, that's great, man. Oh, well, shoot. We would love to get some of those questions thrown at us. Maybe we can make a little return one where we try to stump the Purple Dopes as well. That'd be super fun.
I like it. I'm always up for some Vikings trivia.
Yeah, let's go. All right. Well, make sure if you are following along on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel and then leave us a comment. Let us know where you are watching from. It's cool to connect. Like, we're all Vikings fans from kind of different parts of the country. So please drop a comment where you're watching from. And then if you're on the podcast platforms, please drop us a rating and review of the Purple Dubs with Hopes podcast. As always, Vikings fans, we leave you with 3 things. We Skol, you Skol, we all Skol together. We'll catch you guys next week.
Skol.
Oh.